from TCU to Texas, where Texas finished 8-4, 6-3, but it was a lot to be seen. Texas for sure has a lot of buzz coming into the season. They do lose Bijan Robinson, who some consider the best back in the league. Some people consider Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, look, bro, 1A, 1B to me. I don't care. I'm not going to argue either way.
Depends on what you like.
Yep, they lost the Alamo Bowl to Washington. Now Big Ten Washington after next year, but I digress. Quinn Ewers returns for I think redshirt junior year. Xavier Worthy returns at wide receiver. Like I said, they lose Bijan Johnson to the draft. They lose Roschon Johnson, who's actually his backup, who could have probably started at other colleges. They lost him to the draft. Jalen Ford returns. Jalen Catalon transfers safety from Arkansas. 15 returning starters, 9 from the offense, 6 from the defense. Now, I have to say, Steve Sarkisian, you're going to have to step this up. You're an offensive-minded head coach. You got Quinn Ewers for another year. Yeah, you're going to have to show improve this year. 8-4 is pretty good, but Texas, they want natties. They want higher bowl games. They want 10 wins. So 8-4 is cool, but not at Texas. I mean, we can mention that Arch Manning, the 5-star freshman, who probably won't see the field this year. He is now at Texas, but he probably won't see the field. Ace, give me something about Texas.
Speaking of 5 stars, it may be hard to replace Bijan Robinson, but they do have another 5-star recruit coming in CJ Baxter. So hopefully he can add to the rotation with the 2 other running backs that they have on the roster that have in-game experience. Like you said about Steve Sarkisian, yeah, it is his time to step up this year. It's his 3rd year. He's just 1 game over 500 in his time there. So he's definitely going to have to show improve. As well as Quinn Ewers, you know what I mean? Quinn Ewers started off hot. He looked great in that Alabama game last year.
Phenomenal.
But when he came back from an injury, he just looked like he was making a lot of mental mistakes, and he just wasn't as sharp as he was when we first saw him. Good thing, though, Texas probably has the best offensive line in the Big 12, in my opinion. Like you said, they have All-American Xavier Worthy coming back. They have a stud tight end in Jatavian Sanders. I think the main difference, or the difference in this team is going to have to be the defense. You know what I mean? The defense may not be as talented as the offense, but they do a lot of things great when they're cooking. Look at the Alabama game, for instance. They finished 2nd in the Big 12 in total and scoring defense. And for the first time since 2014, they allowed less than 5 yards per play. I mean, that's got to be trending in the right direction, you know? They got linebacker Jalen Ford, who's coming back, one of the best defenders in the Big 12, maybe the nation. He had 119 tackles and 4 interceptions. But their secondary, they're going to have to step up and make some plays for sure. Like I said, Jalen Ford had 4 interceptions, but their defensive backs as a whole last year only had 4.
Yeah.
You know, so that can't continue. But the D-line did lead the nation in quarterback pressures last year, so you know they have the right ingredients to be an elite team. That defense cut their points per game down from 31 in 2021 to 21 last year. A 10-point swing. You know, you can't even beat that.
Yeah, Ty, I think Ewers is pretty good. I think Ewers has the ability to be elite. I wouldn't say he's not him. I mean, he did leave early. He left. He foregone his senior season after the season was over to go into Ohio State. Was behind Justin Fields. Decided to transfer to Texas. So I think Ewers now has a full year to work with. I get last year, but they were between him and Hudson Card. Now it's clearly Quinn Ewers. So I think he's going to do well. They had the 25th scoring offense, 28th scoring defense, 56th passing offense, 54th in total defense, 35th in total offense. So they were pretty balanced, Texas. The game I like to point out, though, however, was the TCU game where TCU just flat out shut down Bijan and Quinn Ewers just looked out of whack. Texas needs to, really replay that game and tell him, look, you're not going to have Bijan. We got to get your mental. Like you said, he didn't look sharp. He was missing passes. We have to grow from this game. We have to learn from this game, grow from it, move on.
I think it's a lot more than just Quinn Ewers. I think the team as a whole, there were certain games where it looked like they just weren't in it. You know what I mean? Like, I got this funny stat. First 3 quarters, they outscored their opponents by 179 points, but they get outscored by 12 points in fourth quarter and overtime. You know, so They
Yes,
just
sir.
gotta clean the things like that up.
Yes, sir. So we move on. They had the third overall recruiting class go to the schedule where the first game is against Rice, where I have the W.
Yeah, I have them getting a W against Rice as well.
Moving on to at Alabama, I gave Texas the L, but I definitely thought about this game because I have to really look. Bama loses a lot as well, but it's Bama, so they reload. But I gave Texas the L.
Same. I actually gave Texas the L too, but it wasn't easy to give them that.
Yeah. Moving on from Bama to Wyoming. I'm not shouting out that quarterback, so don't even think about it. Where I give Texas the W.
Yeah, I give Texas the W there.
Moving on from Wyoming to Baylor, where I give Texas the W.
I give Texas the W as well.
All right, as previously stated, against Kansas, I give Texas the W.
Yeah, again the W against Kansas. Sorry, Jalen Daniels.
Again, as previously stated, I give them the W against Oklahoma.
Absolutely, W against Oklahoma.
Matter of fact, I could just do this. I have Texas winning against Houston, BYU, Kansas State, TCU, Iowa State, Texas Tech.
I agree everywhere. However, I think if they were to lose one in a random ass trap game, Houston. I think Houston, if they're going to get up for anybody, this is probably their last time to play Texas. If I'm not mistaken, they either won or it was a really close game last time they played, or maybe the time
Can't
before
remember.
that. But this is a rivalry game for Houston. You know what I mean? So Houston to Austin, that's like, right there.
I ain't rolling.
I think they may come out and, at least make it competitive for sure.
I ain't rolling.
Do
The
I
only
think they
trap
win?
game,
Do I think Houston wins? Not really, but I do think that they have a chance.
I have is maybe at. I don't even. No. I'm not gonna say at TCU because I think Quinn Ewers is gonna be up for that game, especially how last year went. The only trap game I have really is Kansas State, but I have them winning the game. But if I had to pick a trap
Yeah,
game,
but
it would be
I
Kansas
don't even
State.
think that's a trap game. You know what I mean? Like, I think Houston is the only one that can really be a trap game.
The reason why I say that is
Coming
because
off a bye, you know what I mean? Maybe overlooking you got BYU at home coming up next week. Not saying that BYU is a big game for Texas necessarily, but it's just like, why would they? I mean, granted, they do have the bye, but why would they look at Houston like they're a problem? You know?
I feel the logic, and I honestly don't have a trap game on the schedule at all. But if I had to pick one, I would go with Kansas State because they could be looking ahead. TCU, like I said, revenge on their mind. Like I can't
Yeah,
wait to
for
get to this
sure.
game.
And
Kansas
going
State,
into TCU, I mean, I get it.
yeah, Kansas State is actually going to be really good. I forgot what I had them at. I think I had them at 9-3 on mine, or actually, I think I might have had them at 11-1 because of the schedule. Let me go back and look. Yeah, I had them at 11-1, so I think they're going to be one of the top teams in the Big 12. So if I were to pick a trap game, that would be it. But like I said, I have Texas going 11-1, 9-0 in conference play, putting them at Kansas State in the Big 12 championship game.
Yeah, I have Texas at about I have them number one in the conference at about 10-2.
All right, moving on from Texas, we go to the segment I could not wait to get to now. All of a sudden.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.